My name's Sarah Welsh, and I chose to write my book report on the book The Cubs Way, The Zen of Building the Best Team in Baseball and Breaking the Curse by Tom Berducci. This book focuses on the Cubs' path to success and winning the 2016 World Series after 108 years after not winning, and how they got there, the reasons that they got there, and how they built the best team in baseball in 2016, and how they came such a long way. So I chose this book because I'm a huge Cubs fan myself. I'm from Illinois, and my brother worked for the Cubs, so he showed me a lot about the management side of the Cubs, and is kind of the reason that I'm doing sport event management as my major. And so this book also taught a lot about the management side, and definitely attributes one of the reasons for success being the Cubs management, which is Theo Epstein, the Cubs president, and Joe Maddon. Theo Epstein came on in 2011 with the Cubs. His manual focused on like team togetherness and team management and team bonding over the physical aspect of the game. He focused way more on the mental aspect than how they succeeded on the field. And once he could focus on that, then the players meshed together and vibed way better together, and which is what made them such a good team. Joe Maddon was the manager who also loved the team aspect. He's such a like out there guy. He did a lot of things like for team bonding, like having themed traveling days where they would all dress up as superheroes, or just a lot more team bonding activities than you see in the MLB, which built the team much closer. And you could see through social media and through TV that once the team was getting so much closer, they were winning so many more games. So onto the curse, which is why the Cubs, well, some people say, why the Cubs didn't win for 108 years, which is such a long time, the longest time any MLB team went from not seeing a World Series win. And so this curse is based off of William Cianis. He's the owner of the Chicago restaurant Billy Goat Tavern. And in 1945, he brought his goat to the World Series game. And this was the last time the Cubs were in a World Series. They unfortunately didn't win, which is why they haven't won in 108 years. But this was, I think, 76 years ago, since they had even been in one. And Cianis brought his goat to the game, and it was, of course, extremely looked down upon because he brought a goat there. And he was kicked out because the goat was too smelly. William Cianis was really mad about this and didn't want to leave. And so the rumor has it that when he was getting kicked out of the stadium, he said, "Them Cubs ain't gonna win no more. You're going to lose this World Series, and you are never going to win another one." And 71 years went by, and the Cubs never played in a World Series again. This made people start believing in the curse, start hating William Cianis. He got death threats for this. It was one of the biggest curses in baseball because they didn't see a World Series for 71 years. In 2016, when the Cubs finally won the National League Championships and made it to a World Series, the curse was broken, and a lot of people attribute that to Theo Epstein. They give that to Theo Epstein because Epstein is known for breaking curses. He also broke the curse of the Bambino at the Boston Red Sox in 2004 when he was the general manager for them. So if he could do it with the Red Sox, he had to have been able to do it with the Cubs. And that's what he did. The Cubs won the National League Series and made it to the World Series against the Cleveland Indians in October 2016. Game 1, the Cubs unfortunately lost 6-0. It was a very disappointing game for Cubs fans. Game 2, the Cubs actually won. They won and tied the series 1-1. Game 3, the Cubs lost, and now they're down 2-1. Spirits are low, but we're on to Game 4. My family got to attend this game, and I didn't get to go, so I remember being so heartbroken. But after seeing the Cubs lose 7-2 on TV, I wasn't as jealous that they got to go. So unfortunately, the Cubs lost again, and the Indians are now just one game away from winning the World Series. This led us to Game 5. I actually got to go to this game because my dad surprised us with tickets, and I thought, who knows, maybe they'll be the good luck charms the Cubs need anything at this point. Maybe I was the good luck charm because the Cubs won 3-2. Game 6, the Cubs came out hot in Game 6 with 3 runs in the first inning, a home run by Chris Bryant and a 2-run double by Addison Russell. Previously, Epstein pulled Russell aside and told him, "Look, I know you're young, but you need to not just try to slam the ball every time. You need to look at what you're doing and try to get some RBIs, and he showed that he could by getting a 2-run double, 6 RBIs in this game, and it was a record for World Series games. Addison Russell also hit the 19th ever Grand Slam in a World Series game during this game, and it led the Cubs to win Game 6 with a score of 9-3. So this all led us to Game 7, the most exciting game in baseball and perhaps one of the most exciting World Series games in baseball history. It was so drama-filled. It was so like exciting to watch and nerve-wracking. I remember watching it on TV in my house today, like it was yesterday. One of the main reasons that a lot of people attribute the Cubs winning the World Series, since it came down to 7 games, was Jason Hayward. He was not very active during the World Series on the field, but this game he definitely made his mark. He pulled all of the players aside during a rain delay in the Game 7 in the bottom of the 9th inning. And he told the team, look, we're the best team in baseball for a reason. Stick together and we're winning this game. It's what they needed to hear. They were filled with nerves, jittery, and a lot of people, Rizzo himself, Epstein himself, both claim that this is why they won the game. The 10th inning started, and the Cubs scored 2 runs. The Indians only scored 1, and there it was. The Cubs won the 2016 World Series. It was an incredible sight to see, and to hear the story about Hayward, I definitely believe that he had an impact in winning the World Series. I learned a lot about sports and rec management through reading this book and how much work goes into such a huge event like the World Series and how much goes into managing a team, which I learned from Epstein and Madden.